My grandmother had one strange rule whenever I stayed at her cabin. No matter what time of day it was, no matter what we were doing, if she rang the little brass bell on the front porch twice, I had to drop whatever was in my hands, walk to the root cellar under the kitchen, and stay there until she came to get me. No calling out, no peeking through the door, no matter how long it took. If I heard the bell twice, I moved. And trust me, my grandmother was not a woman you argued with. Her name was Wren. She was 5 feet 2, weighed maybe 110 pounds, and had been a park ranger in the Smoky Mountains for 38 years. To a 9-year-old girl, that root cellar was the scariest place on earth. It smelled like potatoes and old wood. The light bulb flickered, and there were shelves of jarred vegetables that looked like eyeballs floating in cloudy water. My older brother Hollis thought the whole rule was a joke. He'd sneak up behind me and ring the bell twice just to watch me run. By the time I was 11, I'd done the drill maybe 30 times. Sometimes Grandma Wren would come get me after 10 minutes with a piece of warm cornbread. Sometimes it was just a black bear on the porch and she wanted me out of sight until she scared it off. I started to think the rule was mostly about the bears. One Saturday in June, I was staying at the cabin for 2 weeks while my parents drove out to help my aunt with a new baby. Grandma Wren had spent the morning teaching me how to identify birds by their calls. We were sitting on the back porch, eating peaches, when she suddenly stopped talking, tilted her head like she was listening to something I couldn't hear, and quietly stood up. She didn't say a word. She just walked to the front porch and rang the bell twice. I dropped my peach on the porch boards and ran. I didn't even close the cellar door all the way. I just pulled it shut behind me and sat on the bottom step in the dark. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it in my ears. Usually, she rang the bell casually, loud, but relaxed. This time the 2 rings had been fast and hard, like she was hitting the bell with something heavier than her hand. I sat down there for what felt like an hour. No footsteps, no voices, no cornbread, just the sound of my own breathing and the hum of the old freezer in the corner. Then I heard it, a man's voice, right above me, in the kitchen. Not my grandfather. He'd passed away when I was 4. This voice was younger, meaner, and it was asking her where the money was. I put my hand over my mouth so hard I could taste blood on my lip. I heard her voice too, calm, slow. The same voice she used when she was talking a lost hiker off a cliff edge. She said, "There's about $80 in the coffee tin. Take it and go." The man laughed. He said he knew there was more. He said he'd been told there was a safe. She said there was no safe. He didn't believe her. I heard a chair scrape. I heard something break. Glass. Maybe a lamp. And then I heard Grandma Wren say one sentence in a voice I had never heard her use before. She said, "Son, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to walk out that door." He laughed again. And then I heard a sound I will remember for the rest of my life. It wasn't a gunshot. It was the sound of a shotgun being pumped. One clean, mechanical click-clack right above my head. The man stopped laughing. I heard him say, "Okay, okay, okay." I heard the front screen door slam. I heard footsteps running off the porch. Then nothing. I stayed in that cellar. I didn't move. I didn't call out. Even when I heard her walking around upstairs, I didn't move. 20 minutes later, the cellar door opened. She came down the steps, slowly, sat next to me on the bottom stair, and put her arm around me. She said, "You did good, baby. You did real good." The police came about an hour later. They caught the man 3 miles down the mountain road. He'd been casing cabins in the area for a month. 2 women who lived alone had already been robbed and beaten badly. One of them was in the hospital. That night, after the police left, I asked her why she had the bell rule in the first place. She was washing peach juice off the porch boards with a rag. She didn't look up. She said, "When I was a ranger, I found a lot of people in the woods who didn't make it home. Most of them died because they froze when something went wrong. They stood still and thought about it." She looked at me and said, "I wanted you to be a girl who moved. I'm 24 now. She passed away last spring. The little brass bell is on my kitchen counter."